What you got, Dookie Dan?
I made this queso dip with the ground beef and the ground Italian sausage.
Donnell Bennett is the featured back. Anders, the fullback. Bennett straight up the middle. Donnell Bennett to the Raider 36.
Boy, I'll tell you, Kimble Anders, number 38, gets a sensational block, and that hole is there.
Bennett. Touchdown.
Donnell Bennett, second effort, gets in for 12-yard touchdown, 21-3.
Remember when it was a grinded out offense that Kansas City had? Kimble Anders, touchdown. Kimble Anders, touchdown Chiefs. Second touchdown for Kimble Anders.
Third down and 7 from the 45. Straight drop by Gerбach, flips it out to Anders. Can he get the first down? Yes, and a lot more inside the 40. He's got one man to beat. Pierce across the right side, and Kimble Anders stretches for the touchdown. 55 yards.
Hello and welcome to 4-Minute Offense. Welcome to 2022. I humbly ask that you accept me back into the fold, guys. Clint Schweitzer alongside Noah Groniger, and our stars of the show, it's Kimble Anders and Donnell Bennett. You guys are nodding your head. That means I'm back. I'm back in the club. It's a new year, so it's all good. All love, right? All's well in the world, right, everybody?
Yeah, before we go any further, though, you got to explain this T-shirt you're wearing.
Donnell is
gone for so long. We want to make sure we got the right guy back because
he's hung up on the shirt, man. I tell you, I went and saw my Missouri Tigers play a couple weeks ago down at the Armed Forces Bowl. A loss to Army, the SEC not faring great in bowl games, as you guys know. But we've got the game coming up. We're going to get into a lot today. Kansas City Chiefs. We're going to talk about your guys' 2000 season, but. Yeah, we got the college football playoff championship game coming up on Monday. Georgia and Alabama, what a battle it's going to be. A rematch from the SEC championship. And Donnell, I'm just ready to see a new champion crowned. The Georgia Bulldogs haven't won since 1980. We've seen what this defense can be until Alabama ran into them in the title game. This is, I don't know, a lot of people are just hoping to see a new champion, I guess, Donnell. What's going to happen on Monday? Does the Georgia Bulldogs going to be crowned finally?
Man, I would like to see it, man. But it's gonna be tough sledding, bro. It's tough to beat that cat, bro. They do a good job in Alabama. The biggest thing is I think they got to come out and be super, super physical. Don't play scared. You're gonna have to somewhere in this game early. You're gonna have to let them know, hey, listen, we here. We gonna line up and play cover zero and see if he can hold up in that pocket. They can't come out with the same game plan that they had last time.
Right. Well, I was surprised. I think Georgia quarterback Stetson Bennett's a big key here because he's a former walk-on. I didn't think he had what it took. I thought Michigan guys was going to really give Georgia fits, and it was anything but. Michigan really came out, couldn't do much. When your MO is running the ball and you can't do it, Georgia shut them down. So, and predictably, Alabama knocks off Cincinnati. Nobody really thought that was going to be much of a game, but man, it's the culmination of a college football season, and I'm just excited for the game. It's an all SEC championship, but a lot of people identify these are the two best teams from the start of the year, and the SEC didn't fare well in the rest of the way. So you could kind of argue.
Kimble knows about that. His Houston Cougars beat Auburn, so
that's right.
Hey, I was very surprised with that too, to be honest with you.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, I didn't think they had the firepower to do it, but they actually looked very good playing that game. You know, the thing about the game, it's changed from week to week, and you got to be prepared. And they played cohesively. They played a great game plan, and everything looked a lot better compared to what I felt the season, especially early in the season, how they looked. They didn't look too they didn't look like that type of team, but they fared really good. And looking forward to a couple of years from now getting in the Big 12 as well. So they got to get a lot of recruiting going on.
National championship.
No. Oh no.
Well, they were in the Final
Four. Stop it.
They were in a Final Four in basketball.
Stop it.
Basketball right now, U of H it's been on fire for 2-3 years now. They got one of the best coaches in the world.
Yep.
I mean,
Kelvin Sampson.
Yeah, he got
former Oklahoma coach. Yep.
Yes.
So let's get everybody predictions and get it out the way, so we ain't got to be pondering over everybody predictions. We're gonna start with you, Clint.
I'm going Georgia, and I'm going Georgia by the slimmest of margins, 24-21 in a barn burner. Georgia gets it done, gets a defensive stop late. Let's go Bulldogs.
Noah.
Alabama 31-27. Bryce Young and Jamison Williams too much for the Georgia Bulldogs. They're big and physical up front, but can they deal with Bryce Young and Jamison Williams in that passing game? I say I don't think so.
I'm going with Georgia.
Predict the score.
I'm gonna go
Donnell,
with Georgia.
you're going Georgia?
I'm going with Georgia. I'm gonna go. I say Georgia get after the quarterback, and I don't know if he make it through the whole game. Not trying to wish nothing bad on anybody, but I think, as theory would tell us, that he would come after the quarterback after he played too high and tried to sit back. I don't think he'd give him anything this game, and I think the score be somewhere in between. It's going to be a high-scoring game, like 38-28, something like that.
Wow.
Kimble,
what do you think?
Alabama all the way. They ground game is too tough, too physical. They're a very physical football team, offensive and defensive. They're going to have to match that the whole game. And then, I don't think it's going to be a high scoring game. Maybe in the 20s, somewhere between 20, 28, 21, somewhere in there. But it's going to be a very physical game. A lot of speed, a lot of big fellas on that field that day. A lot of guys.
And we got
Georgia's defense.
Chase Riley here saying Alabama 42, Georgia 17. So there's a prediction on the comment section. That's a lot of points.
Chase, my man. I love you, Chase.
I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I agree with Kim. I agree with it because it's going to be super physical. But me personally, I think Georgia's defensive front seven is going to be more physical than Alabama's offensive front seven. And I think Georgia's offensive front five can, I don't know, bro. The number 31, a dog. It's going to be physical.
Big dude is
going to be physical.
It's going to be physical. Yeah.
If Georgia had won the first game, what would we think? Would it be different if Georgia had won the first game? Would that change?
I think so, but I saw what Bryce Young and Jamison Williams could do. Obviously, John Mechie was in that game for a while. He went down. He's not going to be available. But I just like that combo of Bryce Young and Jamison Williams, what they can do on the outside. Obviously, Georgia's going to have to try and come up with an answer, but I just don't think they have the dogs in the secondary to do it.
Michigan couldn't challenge him downfield, of course. So
they got two first 3-round picks at corners, don't they?
Jamison Williams is a different dude. Jamison Williams is a different dude.
But
you took away his counterpart there.
You're not going to cover him all over the field. You got to slow him down enough so the pressure can get there. And they got two guys that, they're down one receiver, Alabama, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, John Mechie.
So they got two guys that can travel with two guys and at least slow them down. And Alabama would now, just like Kimble said though, I wasn't a big fan of number 4. But the last game, he was toting that thing, bro.
He was toting it, man.
He was toting it, bro. And that's going to be an absolute problem right there, bro. He is coming alive at the right time, man. So, yeah, I don't know, bro.
We'll find out.
That's what Jimmy Ray used to say, right?
Yeah. And the line is playing better, too. I mean, I heard early on they talking about they had some troubles up front with the line, but, you know, they got a big offensive line. They look like they're playing very well football. Yeah.
We'll find out
like
Monday in the college. Yeah, and it's all going to take place in the college football mecca of Indianapolis, Indiana here this Monday night. Where else would you rather see a championship game decided between 2 Southern schools than Indianapolis? What an environment. Guys, here one thing we got to bring up here is we haven't had to talk about a Chiefs loss in so long. Since you guys, in fact, were in Kansas City back in late October against the Giants. Yes. We haven't had to talk about it. It's early November against the Giants. Chiefs lose to the Bengals, guys, on Sunday. And what an outing it was for Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and the Bengals offense. The Chiefs were challenged downfield all day. And in the second half, they weren't able to match it. Now, there were some very questionable calls that took place. Have you guys ever heard of a single NFL game that had 4 referee substitutions, including the white hat? The main ref is substituted last minute. That's unprecedented as far as my research goes. So it did not help the Chiefs.
I didn't know that, bro. I didn't even know that, bro.
Yep.
But
it happens.
That's a part of the game, man. You know, we had our opportunities. Yeah. You know, we didn't get an opportunity to watch the entire game, but you know, like we're definitely playing a lot better football.
Great football.
But you know, we still, you know, we're almost there. We're almost where we need to be, man. And we just gotta. One thing I can say, and Kimble said this earlier when we talked about it, is that we've seen them do it before. You know, they've struggled at times on defense, and we would say, you know, hey, listen, bro, I don't know what's going on with this defense, and they find a way to string it together and make some plays and do what is needed to win some games and put us in position. So my faith hasn't wavered at all.
Yeah, we saw what the Bengals were able to do, but I mean, the Chiefs right before half, they return a kickoff for a touchdown, but there's a holding call. It brings it back. Deep pass to Tyreek Hill, wide open. It bounces off his shoulder pad and chopped out. I mean, that's points that you're leaving on the field there, not putting up on the scoreboard. And then the second half, the Chiefs only have the ball 3 times because the defense can't get off the field. And I know everyone's on Spagnuolo for bringing all this pressure at Burrow and not playing coverage, especially doubling a guy like Jamar Chase, who's been killing you. But if you watch the game, Javarius Ward is in great position every single time. It's just
definitely
Chase goes over him and makes a great play. And what can you do? A great player making a great play when your guy's right there in coverage. So I think the Chiefs will bounce back. They'll have a better game plan next time if they do see the Bengals in the playoffs. Unfortunate calls, of course, but the Chiefs were right there all the way through the game.
Yeah. I agree. And that was a big difference, though. They made plays, and that's what Chase and all the guys, receiver core, they was contested. Like you say, people had position on them, but they was a bigger playmaker, and that's what the game boiled down to, that game, because they outscored them, and they went tit for tat every time with them. So, you know, they just got outscored.
Kimble, I got to ask you about Darrell Williams, because I know you know him very well. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. My mom, you know, when I was growing up, and she used to tell me to, like, you're gonna have to get a job and stuff, which I couldn't believe. It finally did happen. She said, you know, your best ability is availability. And I used to hate that saying, but you know what? For Clyde Edwards-Helaire, that's starting to ring true, because he's not been available. He's been injury prone. He hasn't been an explosive player for the Chiefs, but Darrell Williams has stepped in and filled that role. What do you see out of Darrell? Do you think he can be a guy that can really lead this offense, especially on the, on the ground and through the air, because he's made some incredible downfield catches? What do you know about Darrell, Kimble? Because I'm liking what I see.
Yeah, I think he definitely had the ability to do that. He'll be the perfect back for that system, because he can run and catch the ball. So he does a lot of things. He can do pass protection as well. And he's a real fluent runner. He got a lot of things to offer. He just got to get more reps. I think what I would like to see from the Chiefs is getting to having a running back that got 1,000-yard plus. I mean, that just takes so much pressure off the pass game. I think he's the type of guy that can get it done. Now he just got to, learn from this year and try to keep capitalizing and try to do the best he can going into next year. And hopefully, like I said, you don't wish any injuries on anybody, but at the same time, he just got to be available when he's called on. If he can work his way and be in the starting lineup, that'd be great. But at this point, Clyde is the guy, and that's who they're going to hang their head on for right now. But again, as Donnell, this saying, you can't make the club in the tub,
That's
So
it, bro.
if you club all the time, it's going to be, you can lose your job for sure.
Yeah. He kind of remind me of you, Kimble. Watching him play, he's smooth. He runs good routes. Even running the ball, he deceptively fast, faster than you think. So, he really reminds me of you. And, and I even like the guy that comes in behind him. He's another
Derek Gore.
back. Gore. He's a little bit more compact, but he still has that downhill right now mentality, man.
Yep.
So it's good to see and good to watch, and we had that same talk, like you were saying. It was Kimble, Tony Richardson, and myself at the fullback position. Not the running back. We had the two-back position. So, that being healthy, taking care of your body, not getting in trouble, all that stuff, and we used to say that all the time, jokingly. That's why Kimble laughing. Like, all right, you keep playing around over there in that training room.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Would love to have seen some of those conversations.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what I was going to point out, how Darryl reminds me of Kimble, but I'm not sure if Darryl had to play fullback, if he could stick his nose into defensive tackle. That's what I'm not sure. The running game, splitting out, catching the ball, he kind of reminds me of Kimble, but the blocking game, I don't think so.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not, bro.
Well, they don't have to do that no more down there. So it's,
Exactly.
But even the pass protection, bro, I've never, and I can honestly say I have never. I ain't saying he never missed a guy. I've never seen a guy come off of Kimble's block and go make a play. I've never seen it.
We're still looking for that footage. We're trying to dig a play up where that happened. Noah in our archives hasn't been able to do it yet.
I'm working on it.
I guess we're gonna have to give up on it because I think you're right, Donnell. I don't think it ever happened. So, yeah, that's such a key though. And the Chiefs are the current 2 seed. They did lose
Lost
the one seed to the Titans, and that is a factor this year because you're gonna have to go on the road, or you have to play a game. First of all, there's no bye week for a 2 seed. And now, guys, we're talking about perhaps even moving the Super Bowl out of Los Angeles. I want to get your thoughts on that. You guys live in a couple states where it would be probably easy to move it to. Texas or Florida, probably one or the other. That's the default.
We're here in Dallas initially, so
if we need some freedom, we go to Texas or Florida. So buckle up. It can't be in LA. LA can't handle this, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just throwing them under the bus. It's one of my favorite places to visit. I love LA. They can't handle this. There's no way. They're eyeing Dallas or another location. So
don't make the Super Bowl plans yet. To February 15th, I think in LA, they extended the mask mandate there.
That's my first time hearing this.
Wow, I didn't know that either.
So, Kimble, is
it COVID related or is it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
They mask mandate.
Yeah, they extended it to February 15th. The Super Bowl is February 13th. And then everywhere, whether you go to a hotel, a restaurant, all sorts of places, you got to show that you've had your vaccination, show that you got your booster, show your card, a negative test, your latest negative test. So there's all sorts of stuff going on in LA, and I don't think they want to mess with it. So
yeah, let's get it out of there. That sounds terrible. So buckle up, Texas or Florida. We're coming for you.
We'll take it.
Those are my 2 favorite states in the union. It's perfect.
It'll be fun down here, bro.
Yeah.
It wasn't last year. Of course, Noah and I went last year to Tampa, and it was I love the area. I love Tampa, and I love St. Pete. One of my favorite beaches, St. Pete Beach. Guys, insane.
It's nice over there.
It really is. But so we'll see, and this could because we're hoping to be there this year, and somewhere that's not LA sounds great. So hopefully we'll see you guys. That could definitely be a big issue for fans. Don't make any plans yet, guys. Don't book any hotels. We may have some change of plans here, as is the world these days.
Kimble may be opening up his house to invite Chiefs Kingdom or whoever Super Bowl fans down there to stay with him. If it's
Airbnb that stuff, man.
It'd be nice. It'd be nice.
Well, we're trying to get the Chiefs back on track, Noah. And I know, we've been talking and we've gone through your guys' careers, and I want to kind of switch gears to your guys' final season in Kansas City, which is kind of our next segment here, is the 2000 Chiefs. This is sort of the end of the road for you guys. Before we kind of get into some specifics, starting with you, Donnell, just what do you remember about that final year? It's also Gunther Cunningham's last year. It's sort of you talk about the end of an era when Marty retired after 98. You still had some hangovers, a lot of players that we recognize like you guys, but 2000, that was truly the end of that era, wasn't it?
Yes.
Man, it was tough, man. Packing up your house, you don't know what's next. You don't know what tomorrow brings, and taking everything out your locker for the last time, man. It was tough, man, and knowing that you weren't going to see some guys. I didn't know for sure that the Chiefs weren't going to sign me back, but I had a pretty good idea. I guess if you think you don't know, you know.
Right.
So, but and it was tough, man, and because it was a lot of memories there, man. Some, kids born there, and had some good times, man. The city embraced you, and it was awesome, man. And having to go and say I may not be here tomorrow, man, was tough, man. But that's a part of life, man. We all, there's just different chapters in every book, and you just got to be willing to face the challenges and figure out what life has for you.
Yeah, and Kimble, talk about kind of that year going into 2000 and the running back room. I mean, you got Frank Moreau and Mike Cloud in there as well.
For me, it was definitely devastating because I just came off of an injury in '99, tore my Achilles tendon, and coming back and trying to prove myself over again that I was capable of doing the job, and my injury wasn't going to bother me. But they let me know right off the bat that they had never had no intention on allowing me to play. And don't know if you remember this here, but I had the opportunity to play in the St. Louis game when I scored 3 touchdowns and rushed for 170-something yards. And then we went on a losing streak. I didn't play anymore, but they had Mike Cloud and Frank. They had, take a look at the young guys. At the time, I was 34 years old as well. So, I wasn't expected to be there. Actually, I took a pay cut that year just to come back.
Wow.
So, wow. Yeah, they told me if I didn't take a pay cut, they was going to cut me. So I say, okay. Wow. It was that serious.
Well, I'm glad we didn't have Carl Peterson on this show like we tried.
Yeah,
we actually hit him up and didn't. So
really?
This would have been the wrong one to talk to him on. But
he said he's going to work on it. He's still traveling and stuff for the new year, so we may get him on in a future show if you guys don't mind.
and Kimble, and this was the end of the road for you, Kimble. For you,
yes,
Kimble,
it was. It was
it.
And actually, I honestly thought I had the opportunity to maybe play for someone else. Even at 34, I felt that I came back. I lost a lot of weight. I was down like 215 or almost 210. So I was in, my injury, my Achilles tendon. I felt that I still had a couple more years. And for me, like I say, at this point, me coming from being a straight 7-year starter to 3 straight Pro Bowls, 98, 96, 97, 98, to get hurt in 99 and get cut in 2000. I didn't get a chance to even be a mentor. So I think about that today. It was kind of one of those situations for me that it was a kind of Antonio Brown moment. You know what I mean? It's like
not quite as animated.
Not quite animated, but it was frustrating. It was something that I took very hard, and it did affect me over the years. And even
I'm gonna have to go back to that last game against the Falcons. I didn't see Kimble. I didn't see the moment where you took your pads off and your shirt and threw it into the crowd, and giving the peace sign in the end zone.
I didn't do that. I took it a little different. I took it.
And I'm gonna say this, man. To be in that room and the watch, and especially knowing this part of it about the pay cut and all that, like that just shows you the man Kimble is, man. To be in that room and I didn't know that they had told him that he wasn't going to play, but I know, he wasn't playing. You could kind of tell all that stuff, man. But just to see, because not one time did it show in that running back room. Like he was the same energetic. He was the same teacher. He was the same guy in practice. Everything was the same, and every week he was competing. in my eyes. So
Yeah.
the character of the individual that we talk about when we say being a pro, that epitomizes it.
And I don't know if you remember this, Donnell. Actually, they put me on kickoff return, and Mike, what's the game? Mike
Cloud.
No, not Mike Cloud. The coach.
Mike Stock.
Mike Stock.
No, the coach. Our special team coach. What was his name?
Mike Stock. Coach Stock.
Oh, Coach Stock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Coach Stock. He sat down. Yeah, Coach Stock. Yeah. He sat down, man. He said, "Kimble, I'm gonna need your help." He said, "Could you help me out on this?" And I went over to the special team. I started returning kicks. And I was like, okay, shoot, at least I get on the field, you know what I mean? Hey, whatever you need, coach. He felt so bad even asking me. It was like, it's kind of, in my mind, it's kind of crazy. I said, okay, I'm here. I got a job, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm here to do whatever I need to do.
Now that you say that, I kind of remember us having a conversation about that a little bit, at somewhere in the club or something. We talked about that, man. But that's
wow.
So that's pretty.
That's true professionalism. Do you feel like that exists today? I just feel like that's a different era by days gone by right there.
I believe so. I believe it's a lot of it's going by. I mean, it's for sure, and even in high school, and it's a lot of entitlement, and I get it. You know what I mean? Even at this level of knowing right now, the guys like the AB situation. I mean, like I say, my prayers go out to him because he do have some mental issues.
Right.
And at the same time. He's been around long enough. He know how this business is, and we all know at some point that this business is not fair to nobody. I mean, it's
just look at the transfer portal,
right? Right. So you gotta be, the way you handle something is more important than anything, in my opinion. Right. So I chose not to go left on that, but I was, later on I knew I was hurt, and I can just speak on my piece. But So it made a big difference in my life, and and sometimes when I talk about the NFL, some of the great experience and the work, and then we had some bad experience too. And truth be told, it's a lot of people that play NFL been through a lot. Like every day you got to go perform, you got to do this, you got to be on point. And the same thing. The rumor was he didn't get his incentive because he wasn't going to play or something. There's all kind of stuff out there, and that stuff, I'll be honest with you. Truth be told, a lot of that stuff is very true.
Oh, yeah.
It happens. It happens. Yeah. I mean, you get your incentives by missing about one play. Yeah, okay. So, but so my last year was very devastating to me. I'm not getting the opportunity to play, and I felt that I was really good because, like I said, I went into that game. You got the picture. He sent me some. Thanks for those pictures and stuff, by the way.
Oh,
yeah, absolutely.
That's a whole nother segment, bro.
Yeah, that was nice.
Noah's idea. Nice. That was Noah's idea. All him, guys. That was really cool.
That was nice, bro.
Yeah. So,
well, before we get into that, we'll talk about that a little later. I want to get into the feel goods, the good moment from your career in 2000. You mentioned the Rams game. We got a video package here of that. Everybody expected the Rams kind of run over you guys coming off a Super Bowl. And disclaimer: no running backs fall down in this little video package. I promise.
I did. I tripped.
No running backs. There could be some editing tricks. No running backs fall down in this video.
The most phenomenal offense we have seen in years. Oz Hakeem in motion wide to the left. And the pass up the middle is intercepted by James Hasty. And the Chiefs will get it at the 20-yard line of St. Louis. That was picking up their second interception. And here is a screen pass and an option pass, and it's caught. Sylvester Morris to Derek Alexander, and the Chiefs are unloading their bag of tricks. Their largest deficit of this season. Steve Everett with his first shot and a block kick. The punt is blocked, and into the end zone for the touchdown is Mike Cloud. Another first down. Play action pass, and going deep into the end zone, and it's caught for the touchdown to Derek Alexander. What a show by Alexander on this drive. A 30-yard pass play. Remember when it was a grinded-out offense that Kansas City had? Kimble Anders, touchdown. Boy, they've opened up this attack in Kansas City. Capped by Kimble Anders, 6-yard touchdown run. This is Warren Moon, the ageless signal caller, getting some pressure, and he completes his first pass to Kevin Lockett. And Lockett gets 31 yards, and Warren moves to a perfect ball. And And here is Warren Moon going up top for his tight end, Gonzalez.
He's still there.
Let's see if he has it. What a catch by Gonzalez.
That's a
That is
fantastic
a
job.
brilliant play. Warren Moon, 2 for 2 now. 2nd and goal. Kimble Anders, touchdown Chiefs. 2nd touchdown for Kimble Anders from 4 yards out. Here's Kimble Anders finding running room. It's a race. Kimble Anders explodes, and the Chiefs with a gain of 70 yards on Anders' run. Longest run from scrimmage this year by the Chiefs, and very close to putting this game away. Here's Warren Moon and his toss. Touchdown pass to Troy Drayton, the former Ram.
I told you no running backs fall down in that video clip.
Good job. Good job.
Does that look like a man that deserved a pay cut to anybody?
Man, listen. You already know how I feel. So
God, that's one of the most memorable games I can ever remember. I remember the headline in the paper the next day because that song "Who Let the Dogs Out" was real popular, and that was the headline of the KC Star: "Who Let the Dogs Out?" Because it was just an all-around, just an absolute obliteration. And I think Kurt Warner got hurt. Trent Green actually had to come back in, and it's funny to think about just a year from then. Trent Green's the quarterback of the Chiefs. Elvis Gerback's gone. You guys are gone. Gunther Cunningham's gone. The whole staff's gone. It's just how quickly in the NFL does
the end of an era, like you said earlier, Clint. And man, say what you want about Elvis Gerbach, and there's plenty to say, negatively, positively, whatever. What may you? But man, that play action pass, I don't think I've ever seen anybody do it more beautifully than him and Derek Alexander. That combo, go back to their days at Michigan, bring it into the NFL. I mean, when I was a kid, that's kind of what I noticed. That's the first time I noticed how devastating a play action pass can be if you have a strong run game.
All right.
man, that used to be the thing, bro. 22 Z hook. I remember 22 Z hook and fake 16 power Z deep over. I remember that, bro. Or Z read. That's what it was. You couldn't stop it because we were running 16 power so much, man. Like if that safety, that backside safety, whoever number 4 week was, is not down in that box, it could be 60 yards because everything is gonna be blocked up.
Yeah, and all our plays was catered off our run game because we ran the ball so much. You know what I mean? And the power plays and that DA man, he was not. That's the funniest dude in the world. You talking about somebody moving like a turtle, but when he get to touch that ball, you cancel Christmas. That boy is fast. That boy could go.
Yeah, we need to get a hold of him. We need to get a hold of Derek. I'm just a big fan. Did you guys? I mean, did you guys like Elvis Gerbach on a personal level? Was there did you get along? And
I never had a problem with it.
No,
okay.
Elvis had great potential. And he lived up to it for the most part, man. You like in practice, man, he'd be on fire. He looked very, very good. Just unfortunate, I think, through the course of the game, it just a few miscues. I would go to them and say he's a good quarterback. I think we could have got more out of him, or he could have, contributed more at a higher level. But far as just a quarterback that really done something, I give him a good grade. Yeah. He wasn't bad at all.
Now he was that guy, like you say. He can throw that corner route. He can throw that seam post. He can throw that off the play action pass. But the offenses were going to, you got to be able to throw the quick out. Like he was a long guy, big arm. So to throw that quick out, he wasn't the best at it. Not saying that he couldn't do it, but that's where the offenses were trending.
Yeah.
And he was a product of that because he was, he was no different. This is my opinion. He may not have the stats or the numbers to show it, but of a quarterback, he was no different than the dude that's been playing for the Falcons for the last 12 years.
Interesting comparison there.
Very similar. Absolutely.
That's interesting.
He's strong. He got a strong arm. Yeah,
arm talent wise and stuff, I always thought, he was really good. It's just kind of between the ears, late game situations, close game that he kind of folded, didn't know where to go. We're going to see one of those when we go to a Pats Chiefs games on Monday Night Football.
Oh, dang it.
We're going to see that. But before we do that, I want to ask you guys about Sylvester Morris, a rookie wide receiver coming in. And man, he had that game against the Chargers, 3 touchdowns in one game. You saw him out there on the wide receiver screen and then throw it up to Derek Alexander. But what did you guys make of kind of Sylvester Morris? What kind of career could he have had if not for the injury?
I mean, listen, he came in and worked, bro. He came in and he got right into the program and he said, what do I need to do, guys? And we was like, this is how we do it. We work. We here every day at 6:45 and we leaving at 6:45. You know, like that was our thing, man. And we just did what it took. And he was willing to get in there with us, man, and made some success out of it.
Yeah. Actually, I still talk to Sly. I see him pretty regular. Man, he's a good country boy. He's from Louisiana. And he, like he said, he just go to work and he had no qualms with anything. He got a good, kind heart, and he worked hard, and that's one thing. And he had this little special talent about him too. He actually, he picked up the offense very good. He done a lot of great things, and if without the injuries, though, I think he would have had a better career. I think that's something that really hurt him too, because he was kind of coming to his own early because he played as a rookie.
Yeah,
and too many people don't get the opportunity to do that. So. Yeah, but we talk pretty regular. I probably need to get him on the show. Pretty regular.
Yeah, I'd love to. Great, another good guy. I think Noah, we've interviewed him before. It's been several years.
Yeah, that 6'3" frame. He could sky for the ball. Even already being 6'3", he could get up above people and catch the football. So I think he had a good career arc ahead of him, potential ahead of him. If not for those injuries, it was kind of sad to see.
Right.
Well, this was such a strange season because at one point I think you guys won 4 out of 5 and then turned around and lost 5 out of 6. It was a really strange season because we've talked about 99 before and how close it was to a playoff team and a division championship team in 99. And I think in 2000, it was the expectation that this was going to go over the edge, take it over the top. And then this was the beginning of the Raiders mini. I don't want to use the word dynasty. That's way too strong, but they did win the division 3 straight years, right? And got to the Super Bowl and all that. So the power in the AFC West shifted to the Raiders, right? Then what was it like playing against them? Because I think you guys had some shootouts with them and couldn't get a win against this John Gruden Raiders team with Rich Gannon. And what was it like kind of seeing him have that success?
It was tough, man. I mean, we had Zach on early in the year, man, and he talked about it. And, he didn't rub it in as much as, when I see him around town and we get around the fellas on the show, man. But, it was hard, because he was coming into his own. We were both from the same area. He's the new guy on the block, all that, and you hear it. And just to go back and know, we old, but we can still get it done, man. We had that mentality. But, we kept coming up short, man.
Yeah. Rich was just a crafty guy, man. He was just a pro. Like I said, he had it down. I mean, he could play with the best, and he made things work for his favor. I mean, let's go back. He's the first one to start throwing sidearm a little bit. He did our underhand throws, sidearm throws. He going to get you the ball. He going to figure out a way to get you the ball. There's nothing pretty about what he did, but he just he stayed at the pocket and get it done. And he's real crafty, so great quarterback.
Yeah, and the Chiefs end up going with Elvis Gerbach instead of Rich Gannon. Rich goes on to have success and MVP, take the Raiders to the Super Bowl. But and we're going to see here, we're going to go to that Pats game now. We're going to go to kind of this end game scenario. We saw it in 97 in the playoff game against the Broncos. Late game scenario, clock winding down. Elvis doesn't make the greatest decision. We see it here again on Monday Night Football. Rears its ugly head again, and here's Pats at Chiefs on Monday Night Football. Comes down to the wire.
First quarter, 3-0 Pats. Chiefs driving. Back. Pass. Almost picked off by Ty Law, but Derek Alexander, nice juggling catch, first down. Take another look just in case you stepped away to pet your dog. The juggling catch, 3 times he juggled it before making the reception. Led to a field goal, tie game. Pats going for it here, 4th and 1. Kevin Falk. The Pats have scored just 2 TDs in their last 3 games, but they go up 10-3 right there. Second quarter, same score. Elvis, play action. Hit one of his favorite targets in Derek Alexander, who is wide open. Derek Alexander going to the house. 5 catches, 116 yards, and Alexander lets us know, yes, folks, sure he's on Monday Night Football. Go ahead and celebrate, Derek. 2 minutes in the first half. Drew Bledsoe. Remember him? Bledsoe, 33 of 48, season high 282 yards, 2 scores. Pats up 17-10. 20-10 now. Another 4th and 1. Bledsoe. Jermaine Wiggins for the score. Bledsoe 7 for 7 on the drive. Oh, the good old days. That's what it reminded Pat fans of. Meanwhile, Gerback hitting Tony Gonzalez. Leads the Chiefs in receptions as patented move, 27-17 Pats. 4 minutes left after a false fumble. Gerback to Kevin Lockett. 25 of 46, 350 yards passing for Elvis. Chiefs cut it to 30-24. Under 2 to go. Glenn on the reverse. Picks up the 2 yards. Patriots forced to punt, so the Chiefs get the ball back. Would it be costly? Gerback will get one more chance, but no timeouts from their own 32. Gerback looking long for Tony Gonzalez, 29 yards to the Pats 39. 2 plays later. Why not go for this combo again? Gerback to Gonzalez, out of bounds at the Pats 16. 11 ticks left now, 3rd and 5. Hey, will 3-time be a charm? Over the middle, but stopped well short. No chance to stop the clock, remember. Time runs out, and the Pats somehow, some way, hang on for the victory. Something they didn't do many, many times this really dismal season for New England. But it was a dismal ending for the Chiefs in this one. 30-24 the final.
Mike Maslowski screaming, Gunther screaming, Shields throws his helmet. You can't throw the ball in the middle of the field with the clock running down on 3rd and 5, and that's just kind of the late game things we're talking about. But during that video, I was actually called out here. I posted a photo of a jersey I got on Christmas, and somebody's calling me out to share that right now. We've got Chase Riley, CR Media. Can we show the photo of Noah with his Elvis jersey that he got on Christmas? So, without further ado, here it is. Elvis jersey on Christmas.
Wow.
I didn't know the story behind it, but I did see the text. I was going to ask about it.
Yep. There it is, folks.
Wow.
Do you still have it? Do you still have that? Why isn't that your background right now? Right between Kimble and Donnell?
I have it in some box down here. I've got all sorts of old jerseys down here that I've got on Christmas. A Vanover, a Dale Carter. So there's a lot there. That was before kind of the doomsday of Elvis Gerbach, kind of what would go on. I was excited about our new quarterback acquisition. You saw it there. He's number 11, so that's when he just came on. He ended up changing to 18. I was excited. I was on board. I was getting on board with it early on, and just didn't kind of work out for us.
And that was actually a really good drive to get downfield. There was only like 50 seconds, no timeouts. Got downfield. That was incredible.
And you want to talk about a quarterback that Elvis reminds me of, the quarterback on the other side, Drew Bledsoe, kind of a taller, statuesque quarterback, strong arms. So that's kind of one he reminded me of.
And by the way, that Patriot dynasty started the next season. They won that first Super Bowl. So those guys you played against, you saw Troy Brown, you saw Ty Law and all that, Teddy Bruschi, Ted John, all those guys. That was next year. Tom Brady comes in for an injured Drew Bledsoe, and it's the first Super Bowl. And by the way, that clip we saw earlier of Warren Moon, do you know how old he was in that clip?
41.
He was 44, the exact same age Tom Brady is today, guys. And we thought Warren was ancient back then. Like, how is he still playing?
Bro,
I love Warren Moon.
Smooth, bro.
He was. I love him.
Warren is the man. Hey, remember him and Tony? They became best friends.
Oh my God!
They used to hang out. Boy, it was nothing nice.
That's not fair, bro. That was
that wasn't even right.
Yeah, we saw Warren Moon there with a great throw to Tony Gonzalez. Tony kind of reaching back over the defender, making a great catch. But, man, Warren Moon stood in the pocket, and he got hit in the chops on that first throw we saw there. And we didn't see him get up and screaming at refs like Tom Brady would probably do, because that's not expected in this era, the era that Warren Moon was in. He expects that. He's like, that's just part of the job.
Absolutely.
But we saw like a bad Monday Night Football game. You guys also had a really good Monday Night Football game with the Seahawks coming to Kansas City to take on you guys. And there was actually 4,000 fans in Kauffman Stadium. I was one of those fans over there watching on the big screen there at Kauffman Stadium. So not only did they fill Arrowhead, they tried to fill Kauffman.
And I believe that made it the largest attendance ever for a Monday Night Football game.
Oh,
or that's what they were going for. I don't know if it.
So it went over to the Kauffman Stadium?
Yeah. So it was on the big screen next door. So they counted that as the attendance. So you had 80,000 Arrowhead and 4,000 there, 84,000. It was kind of a gimmick and not all that well thought out. And the presentation was pretty bad. at Kaufman, but you know what? Anything for our Chiefs, you know.
Yeah, it was all right. It was a new experience watching it in a baseball stadium, and then you hear the crowd from Arrowhead. That kind of got you pumped up, and they show it a little bit in this clip. So let's go to that.
Who came in with a 3-game winning streak over Kansas City and a 5-game winning streak on Monday night. And that guy could scream all he wants, but his team was down 7-0 in the second quarter. However, the Chiefs coming right back. Tony Gonzalez, 15-yard touchdown. We're tied at 7. Now check out the replay. The ball hits the hands of linebacker George Kuntz, but Gonzalez has the concentration. Does he keep it off the turf? Well, this play was not reviewed, so it's a great play, and it's a touchdown. Now Ricky Waters watching Sean Alexander getting some PT and doing quite well. Second quarter tied at 7. 17 yards down to the Kansas City 37. Alexander again, another 17 yards to the Kansas City 20. 74 yards rushing on the night. 54 yards on this drive, which he caps off with a 7-yard touchdown. Waters likes it. Third quarter, Waters getting his chance. Takes the pitch, and he's down the sidelines for 32 yards, setting up a field goal for the Seahawks to go up 10. And on the drive, Waters passed Earl Campbell for 13th place in the all-time rushing list. So the Chiefs down 17-7 in the third quarter, pinned on their own 5. And that's when the game turns. Gerback finds Derek Alexander for 73 yards, and the Chiefs are in business. 2 plays later, Gerback hooking up with Alexander again. 17-yard, great catch. 3 plays, 95 yards. It's a 3-point ball game. The fans, 4,000-plus fans in Kauffman Stadium next door in the complex, watching on the big screen. They're all pumped up. Alexander, 4 touchdowns this season, doubling last year's total. Fourth quarter, we're tied at 17. 6.5 minutes left. John Kitna, Christian Fourier, does he make the catch? Refs say yes, and it's a first down, so Gunther Cunningham throws in the towel. Actually, he wants to review it. That's what the red flag means. And in the review, sure looks like the ball hits the ground, and referee Ed Hockley, after further review, agrees. Incomplete. Fourier can't believe it, so the Seahawks forced a punt. And on the ensuing drive, Elvis Gerback off the play fake from the Seattle 36 throws to Alexander, who had 5 catches for 153 yards. Gerback 256 yards, 2 touchdowns. You know, they went to the same school, Stuart. Word. Next play, Mike Cloud takes it around the end. 16-yard touchdown, Chiefs up 24-17. So Seahawks last chance. John Kitna, your 2-minute drill begins now. With 28 seconds to go, a wide-open Darrell Jackson, and Jerome Woods picks it off, ending a tough night for Mike Holmgren, whose crew falls to 2-17 in its last 19 trips to Arrowhead as Seattle goes down 24-17 despite racking up 189 yards in the ground. Gerback engineered his second straight fourth-quarter comeback, an 8th of his career.
Well, so they couldn't put a big screen like on the field for you? They like...
No, you had to look out way into the distance there in the outfield and try to catch the game. So,
yeah, I don't recall them doing that.
I don't remember that at all.
They did have T-shirt cannons. I enjoyed that. I caught one of those T-shirts. So it's just,
I mean,
extra attendance, Kauffman Stadium.
The takeaway from that, Derek Alexander, what an underrated Chief. I mean, when you look at receivers in Chiefs history, you know, you think about some greats, you know, after that, Dwayne Bowe was a really good player, but Derek Alexander, for those years he was here, man, I think underrated.
Yeah, he's very sneaky. I think he done a great job.
Yeah,
he's sneaky.
Well, that's kind of where it comes to an end for 2000. Now, Donnell, you would go on. Marty goes to Washington after 2000, and talk about how you kind of wound up there. Was it a deal where Marty gives you a call? Were you thinking the career was over? What was kind of the circumstances there?
I'm not gonna say the name of the team, but I went and worked out for a team, and
the Raiders.
No, this is gonna surprise you. I went and worked out for a team where the coach actually coached at my college, and worked out was good the whole 9. He said, "We're probably gonna sign you. We'll call you Wednesday." Never heard from him. Never heard from him.
Wow.
And then I went and worked out for the Raiders. And I forget, they had who was their fullback? They had Zach, of course, and they had
Tyron Wheatley.
Who? Yeah, they had
Tyron Wheatley.
Wheatley too. So yeah, the running back coach there was kind of honest with me. He was like, "Listen, man, you know, if you come, you know, it'll be an addition to the room, but you know, like don't come in expecting to play a lot and all that stuff because we're gonna go with these guys, but they may sign you. You know, don't hold your breath, but you know, keep your fingers crossed, basically."
I don't know if the Raiders had John Ritchie yet back then. I don't know when he came into the league. If he was
I think that's right in there.
Yeah.
He came from Philadelphia.
Yeah, he might have been that in.
Yeah, no, if I'm mistaken, bro. He was bloody nose. You
Yeah.
know that cut right on the bridge of your nose, Kimble.
Yeah,
and he always had that, bro.
Well, Kimble, for you, did you have any other options? Did you think, hey, maybe I'll go to Canada or go to the Arena League? I mean, did you have any ideas like that, or was it just
once you see Donnell get signed, did you reach out to Marty, be like, "Hey, can I be a Washington football teamer?"
That's one place I was not going, to Canada. When I was done, unfortunately, I didn't get any action. But I will say this, though, I tell you, this is a Marty moment for real. Talked to Marty about coming up there. He said, "Kimble, why would you want to do that? You had a great career." I looked at him like, "What you mean?" He like,
well, does it have to be over? Like, does it?
Yeah, that's what I said. Do it have to be over?
I can keep having a good career, great career.
Hey, that's how Marty was, bro. That's exactly who he was, bro.
Yeah.
That's hilarious, bro.
Yeah, but I didn't. Maybe Houston, because it's the first year of them getting getting that franchise
expansion
back.
Team. Yep,
expansion team, and there was a little talk, but not much. So other than that, I didn't have no. I mean, even going to the graveyard, they didn't pepper with the Raiders in the graveyard. They didn't even. Raiders didn't look at it. I guess they had a lot of fullbacks too. So
I would have just made that would have just hurt my soul if that either one of you guys had done that. Seahawks, Chargers, that's one thing, but Raiders, Broncos, there's a line, but it's business, man. That's it. It's business, and it happens. We saw, Harvey Williams went down there. You guys got Keith Traylor went to the Broncos from you guys. Neil Smith, it happens, and that's
Dale Carter. Yeah,
but here's how I say it. So, like, Kimble has to be the next guy on the list for the Ring of Fame.
I love that.
If Grunny goes this year, Will Shields is gone.
Yep.
Correct?
Yeah.
Tony G.
Dave Zott's not going yet, right?
I don't think Zott's up there yet.
So Kimble and Zott, they can, but there's nobody that has not been up there that has contributed to the success of our team that as much as those couple guys I just named, and maybe a few more guys on the defense I might miss. But I know not offensively, consistently.
That's a very good point, and that's something that we need to get the ball rolling on in any way we
Carter
can.
and Hasty, and I don't think they're
I
going
can
up
tell
there.
y'all this now.
Maybe DC, maybe Dale.
I can tell y'all this now. I got word who's going next.
Well, breaking news
We've
time.
got breaking news
Let's
on
go.
4-minute offense.
I can't say it
Who
now.
is it?
Can't do it.
Yeah,
I can't say that.
Okay.
No, it's not.
I'm saying this, man. Like,
it's not me though. It's not me.
Well,
But
give us a hint. Kimble, dadgummit.
just think about this. It's for a reason.
Okay.
It might be just a rumor, so nobody told me, but it's just a kind of. I can say it. I can say it. I guess.
Yeah, it's just rumor and innuendo. Nothing for sure.
So obviously,
let me guess. Before you say it, let me guess. The other person I would say, and if I'm not sure if he's in or not, and that would be Neil.
Neil's already up there.
Yeah, Neil's up there.
Neil's been up there for a while. It's gonna be a coach.
Gunther.
Coach.
Would
they put Vermeil up there?
Have to, because he's going in the Hall of Fame this year. So,
well, we've had Dick Vermeil on our show this year. We need to get back a hold of him on it. That would make sense.
That's what I'm hearing. That's what
he
I
only
heard.
was here for a few seasons from 01, 2, like 4 years, I think, and it's hard.
He's going in the Hall of Fame this year. You know that, right?
Yeah.
But
they got to put him in the Chiefs Hall of Fame.
Bro, I don't agree with that, bro. I don't agree with that.
I mean, he was only in Kansas City 4 years.
I don't agree with it either.
I'm saying this is just
5
me.
years.
The people, and I'm not discrediting anything that Coach Vermeil did in Kansas City. Everything was wonderful. But I'm saying like that ring of fame is like the people that put the pillars into the program. You know, like we were in a flux right there from 2000, like you said, until, you know, Coach got there, whatever, and then it kind of turned around a little bit, and it got solid when Priest and all them guys came in there. And, you know, it was a different era for that time, but like he didn't put the pillars into that program like a Kimble Anders did, or Dave Zott.
Yeah,
or, you know, even the Dale Carter. I mean, I know character or whatever you want to throw in there to say no to, but like
I think they have to be friends of the program too. If you're not close with the Chiefs, if you're not close with the front office and stuff.
What is the process? Anybody know the process? Is it something?
Guys that they like, put names in a hat and draw it out. I don't know.
I don't know, but I mean they've done a good job. I'm not, you know, discrediting.
No, but when you look at it, Dick Vermeil was here only 5 years and 1 playoff appearance, and it was a loss.
Only 2003 was really the year. So like one really supreme, really good year. And the defense was obviously atrocious, ended awfully in that 2003 playoff game, the no punt game.
And we love Dick. I mean, gosh, he sent us some Vermeil wine. I still got over here.
He's a nice guy.
Great guy.
Dick's a great person.
Actually, we when I came to Galveston coaching, me and Coach Long, because Coach Long was with him as strength and conditioning coach, we call him all the time and get tips from him. But he's so funny though. He'll give you something, and he said, "You already know it. So why I'm talking to you like,
right?
He's like, Coach, you already got it. What you want? What you want, Coach?" I'm like, "Coach, how we gonna do this and this?" And I'm trying to explain something to him. He said, "Coach, you already got it." I'm like, "Okay, Coach." Yeah. That's all you can say. You know what I mean?
Wow. Well, God, there's so much to unpack here. We got the college football playoff national championship coming up here Monday. We talked about that. We got Chiefs Broncos rounding out the regular season. The Chiefs trying to lock up that 2 seed in Denver. Guys, the Chiefs have beaten the Broncos. I think it's 12 times in a row now. It's dating back to September of 2015 is the last time the Chiefs lost to the Broncos. This stretch is unprecedented, and you definitely want to see that keep rolling. But man, it's the 17th game. This is no joke. I think you're seeing guys feel the effects of this. It seems like it's playoff time, and you still got to play another regular season game. The NFL eventually, the association, they're going to want to get this to 18 regular season games. You know, man, that it's brutal.
Yeah,
they got
the old body.
The missed games they had, man, they got to make up that revenue.
Yeah, if they go 18, they need to cut it down 2 preseason games.
They will. Yeah,
they will.
That'll be the concession that they make. So,
but see, I don't like any of these changes. I like even number records: 10-6, 11-5, 12-4. I don't like adding another playoff team. That doesn't make sense to me. I don't like taking away a bye from a 2 seed. You know, guys,
especially now that the Chiefs are in the 2 seed.
Yeah.
Especially now that the Chiefs are the 2 seed. Darn well makes me mad. But guys, so much fun. This has been a blast, and we're not done yet. We got to pull out the rabbit out of the hat. We talked about some guys we need to try to get a hold of because we got to round out this season. We got to go out on top because doing this with you guys has been so much fun. Every week, it's been great, except for those weeks I was on the run from what Kimble and Donnell are suggesting that I'm on the run from a woman or the IRS. It's neither. I promise you it's neither. And barring disaster or barring the weather getting a lot better, I'll be back for the duration, guys. So 4-minute offense. It's always a pleasure, guys. You guys are the best. Thanks so much for joining us. And we'll catch you guys next week and hopefully talking about some playoff scenarios, the Chiefs locking up the 2 seed and maybe even the 1 seed if the Titans lose. We'll just see what happens. Guys, thanks so much.
All right, bro.
Thank you.